Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am starting off with no makeup today. I just got back from Sephora and I have picked up some Fenty beauty products. If you have been living under a rock or something, Rihanna came out with a makeup line and it has launched first in the world in Australia in Sephora, so I needed to go and pick it up immediately so I can film a video with it. It never happens. Australia is just so late with everything. We don't get any makeup products for like 3 months at least after it's been released in America, generally. But for once, it's launching it not only at the same time here, but first in Australia because of time zones. So I picked up a few items. I'm going to do like little first impressions today and try them out. I am so excited to use all of this stuff, so let's just get into it. I've just cleansed my face with some micellar water and put on some moisturizer. I have nothing else on my face. I'm going to start with the Pro Filter primer. It says that it is soft matte, so let's see how this goes. The lady in Sephora described it as being, it's not a silicone primer, it is hydrating but also oil control. So let's see how this goes. I'm just going to take like 2 pumps and put this all over my face. It definitely does feel kind of hydrating, but like, yeah, I see like this feels like it could be hydrating but also like control oil production and keep the makeup lasting longer. I've just added another 2 pumps because that didn't really coat all of my face. The primer, by the way, was $47. I'm going to just go ahead with trying out the products first, and then at the end I'll break down the prices and how much product you get and what it's like in comparison to other products that are similar. So I'm just gonna go through and just apply everything first. So I feel like that wasn't too hydrating. It feels like it kind of dried down. It doesn't even really feel tacky. It does a little, but it like almost like a cream to powder type finish. It's really strange. It like really dried down. So apparently it works well with the foundation, which is like obviously it would be formulated to work well with the foundation. So we'll give it a go with the foundation. I would have liked to try the foundation on its own without a primer to see how it goes, but I want to try them both out and see how they work together, so that's what I'm doing today. So I got the foundation as well. This is in the shade 150. There are 40 shades in this foundation, which is incredible. Obviously, if you've seen the promotional video, there are some super deep dark foundation colors. However, there's also an amazing light shade range. I had to pick up the 5th lightest shade. Like, often the lighter shade of stuff is slightly too dark for me, and there were 4 shades that were too light for me, so that is an awesome shade range. I'm not sure if this one's going to match me perfectly because I was kind of like overwhelmed and just wanted to like buy stuff and get out. But this one, I picked up a neutral one because I didn't want anything too cool, too pink, or too warm and orange. So I picked up a neutral one, but I feel like it could be just a tad dark for me. I put about 2.5 pumps on the back of my hand. It's not too watery, it's just like a regular foundation. It's not like overly liquidy or overly like creamy and dry. So I'm gonna just spot this all over my face. I'm gonna go in on this side of my face with a brush. This is my Tarte, I don't know what this is called. It's the brush that's like meant to work well with the Rainforest of the Sea foundation. Okay, so straight away that coverage is really good. It says that it is a medium to full coverage and a soft matte velvet finish. So it's definitely like at least a medium coverage. It's not like covering my acne completely, but this is only 1 layer, so I should be able to go in with another one and cover up a lot of that. And I do have a lot of acne today, so I'll be able to test it out really well. Looking up close, it's blended out pretty well as well. I will go over with a beauty blender in the end just to smooth everything out, but I do that with all foundations anyway. I'm just going to go in on this side with a beauty blender and see how it applies with this. I found this side was a little harder to blend, but I did leave the product on that side for longer than I normally would. So I feel like this foundation does dry up relatively quickly, but it still wasn't too bad. I just had to kind of like be a bit rougher with the beauty blender. Overall, that's probably about a like medium coverage maybe. I'm gonna go in with a couple more pumps. I'm just gonna put this in areas where I need more coverage. And this time I'm just going to do all of it with a brush and then just go over the top of it with a beauty blender. I feel like this foundation is a really good match for me as well. Okay, so I'm liking the coverage of that. That is definitely a medium to full coverage. You can still see my acne a little, but that is mostly just the fact that it is raised. My acne is very inflamed at the moment, and my foundations that I normally use to cover it are even struggling a little, so I feel like that's a really good coverage. I will say though, I don't think this foundation is going to be suited to dry skin. The areas where I do have a lot of acne, it is accentuating all of the texture in those areas. My skin is quite dry at the moment, and like I haven't even set this down yet and it looks quite powdery, so I feel like I'm gonna really like this foundation in summer, and it is warming up now, so I feel like I'll get a lot of use of it in summer. But like, yeah, it's pretty transfer proof right now. Yeah, I feel like it's just going to accentuate any problem areas, and it's just, I feel like it's not going to work for dry skin. So the other two products I grabbed were a highlighter and a lip gloss. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face off camera, and I'll come back to try them out. Alright, so I just finished off the rest of my makeup. I just did my brows, put on some contour and blush, and then did my eyes. And for my eyes, I just used the same thing as I use for my contour and blush because I just wanted something simple. So the next product I have is the Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo. I picked up the one that has the shades Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. The highlighters, they're so pretty. There's a range of, I think, like 5 or 6 of them. I think it might be 6. And there's a like super gold one, like as in like a gold glitter. It's like incredibly gold. There's this one that looks white and it looks just like a pressed powder or something, and then you swatch it and it's like, it's not over the top or anything, but it's just like little reflex of like purple and blue. And I really wanted to get that one, but I wanted to get one of the duos, so I got this one, which is the lightest duo that you can get. There's 2 shades. This one looks like it's a matte, but it's not. It's just more of a subtle shimmer, whereas this one is like a metallic. I'm just gonna go in with the shade Lightning Dust to start with. It's a really nice, like super subtle highlight. If you have a darker skin tone than me, that's probably not going to be quite as subtle, but that's a really nice, like just super natural. But I'm gonna go in with the other shade, which is Crystal Fire, and I'm just gonna put that all over my face because I want an intense highlight. It does look like more of a metallic highlight. It's not glittery, but it looks more like a foiled shadow or something. Even the more subtle one does look like a shadow, like it's not like super glossy or anything like that. It's still not like overly metallic, but it is on the metallic side of highlights. So if you're someone who prefers like a super natural glossy highlight, these probably won't be for you. You can kind of tell that while swatching them anyway, like the darker shades do look like eyeshadows. I'm just going to use the more subtle one to highlight my brow bone because I don't want something super metallic on my brow bone. And I'm also just going to use these highlighters on my eyes. I'm going to go first in with the more natural one, which is Lightning Dust. And I'm just going to bring this in my inner corner, like a half cut crease kind of style. And I did just wet my brush with some setting spray as well. Alright, that's exactly what I wanted on the eyes. I just wanted something not too shimmery, just something there. I'm going to take the more intense shade now and I'm just going to use that to highlight my inner corner. Alright, so I just popped on some mascara off camera. The last product I have is the Gloss Balm. This is what I was really looking forward to. There is just one shade, which is the shade Fenty Glow. So the fact that it has a name makes me think that maybe she will release more in the future. But it's got like a super thick wand on it. Reminds me quite a lot of like the Shape Tape applicator, just because it's so thick. I'm just going to apply it first with no liner just to see what it looks like by itself. But I will end up putting on liner and applying it on top of liner because I like to overdraw my lips. I was actually expecting this to be way more sheer. It's actually got quite a decent amount of color to it. It smells amazing. It smells like a fruity lolly. Maybe Starburst? It smells like slightly sour though. I think Starburst is what, or maybe Skittles? That type of lolly is what it's reminding me of. Yeah, I think Starburst. It is a little on the goopy side. It's like, yeah, I can feel it like sinking into like the inner rim of my mouth a little. It's not super uncomfortable, but it's not the most comfortable gloss I've used either. It actually reminds me of like, the smell as well reminds me of like lip glosses I would use when I was really little. Yeah, you can actually see sometimes when I open my mouth, it's like gooping. Yeah, that's not my fave. How much it is gooping up like that is really turning me off it, but let me just remove this and apply a lip liner and see how it looks on top of a lip liner. Alright, so I've just applied my Essence lip liner in the shade Satin Mauve. So let's see how this goes on top of that. Alright, I really like how that gloss looks over the top of that liner. It's still so goopy though. It feels like a $2 kids lipstick. And the fact that it like smells and tastes like a $2 kids lipstick, like it's just adding to that whole experience. It looks nice and it's not horrible, I guess, but I expected more. Alright, I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown on how much is in each product and how expensive it is in comparison to like other, like, you know, Too Faced, Kat Von D, other things in the same category. So starting with primers, the Fenty Beauty Primer is 32 mils and this is $47. So that's around about average volume. The Too Faced Hangover Primer is 40 mil, which is actually really good. It is $46. This is all in Australian dollars, by the way. The Too Faced one is $46. The Smashbox, what is it, Photo Focus primers, those are 30 mil and those are $52. And the Stila One Step Correct primer is the same. It's 30 mil and $52. So you're getting 32 mil, which is around about average. It's $47, which is like a little bit cheaper than a lot of them. So that one is about average. The Fenty Beauty foundation. This one is amazing value, okay? It is 32ml and it is $50, which is incredible. I was expecting like at least $60, closer to $70, and this is $50. So the Too Faced Born This Way foundation is 30ml and it is $57. The Urban Decay All Nighter foundation is 30ml, so again a little less, and it is $65. And then the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation is 30ml and $49. So that one is around about the same. Most stuff in Sephora, like foundations or Mecca, is like $60, $70. So when I saw that this was $50, I was like, okay, I need the foundation now. So for the highlighter, each of these is 3.5 grams, so you're getting 7 grams of product all up, and this was $50. You can compare that to the Too Faced, can't remember what they're called, like the heart highlighters. Those have 9 grams and they're $44. The Becca highlighters are 8 grams and $64. And then Tarte's Amazonian Clay highlighters are 5.6 grams and they're $38. So they're cheaper again, so that's not too bad. So this one is probably one of the more pricey things out of what I picked up in comparison, like volume wise and price wise, to other things in the category. But it's still pretty reasonable, the price. So lastly, the gloss. A lot of glosses I found were about 6ml. The Tarte and Smashbox glosses are both 6ml. Smashbox is $30, Tarte is $29, and Anastasia Beverly Hills lip glosses are 4.73ml and those are $31. The Fenty Beauty gloss is 9ml and it is $30. So you're getting like an extra half of the product for the same price. So that is a really good price point. So I think all of this is really reasonably priced for how much you get. It's not like they're trying to keep the prices down and by doing that they're like cutting what you get in half. You still get a decent amount of product and the price point is average for like Mecca and Sephora brands. I expected them to be a lot more because of Rihanna's name, but she hasn't marked the price up, which is awesome. But I'm just gonna give a rundown on my thoughts on everything that I picked up. So the primer, I'm gonna have to use this more. The first impressions is that it was very drying. Like, it was really strange. It's like I put it on and it dried, which is not something you want for a primer. So I'm not sure how I feel about the primer. The foundation I ended up being pretty happy with. It's not going to be suited to dry skin tones though. It is still like accentuating all of my texture, like even these little bits of texture around my cheeks. Like my main source of texture is all of my breakouts on my jawline, but even around my cheeks, it's accentuating all of my texture. So if you have like really dry skin where it looks kind of flaky, or you just have really bad skin texture, this probably isn't going to be a great foundation. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the foundation either. Like, I don't know, it's just accentuated a lot of my skin texture. It doesn't feel too dry on the skin now though, so it's not the best foundation I've tried. I've tried better drugstore foundations, to be honest. The coverage is really nice though, so I might try that one again when I have less breakouts and give that a go. The highlighters I do like, but they're nothing special. Like, it looks the same as any other highlighter I own. In fact, I've got highlighters that I like better than this. I was hoping that it would be more of a glossy highlight rather than like a metallic highlight. Like, it's really nice, but it's nothing special. However, I do really want to get some of the other shades. I feel like my problem is that I just got one of the most basic shades when there were like a lot of really nice ones there. So other shades might be really nice. The darker shades look gorgeous, so I would love to try them out even just as eyeshadows. And the lip gloss I already mentioned. It feels so goopy. Honestly, I'm just a little underwhelmed with everything. Like, the price point's good, the products perform well, but they're just nothing super outstanding. yeah, I was just expecting a little more, to be honest. If you're still unsure on whether or not you want to purchase anything, I would say just wait, look at more reviews, get like a lot of people's opinions, and then see if that's something that you want to purchase. I am just a little underwhelmed, and I don't think you need to go and rush out and buy it straight away. That being said, I'm still going to use all these products a lot. Like, this not bad by any means. Also, I feel like it's a very strange but kind of cool first launch. A lot of first launches are like eyeshadows and lipsticks, but this is like a foundation and a primer and stuff on the first launch is really cool. It's really unusual for a first launch, so I feel like that's a really cool thing. So I hope this review was helpful for you if you are looking at buying any of the Fenty Beauty products. I feel like seeing as I got it so early, I needed to do a review straight away, so I hope this was helpful. If it was, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more of my videos, then please subscribe while you're at it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.